Good.
And I want to talk more about your artistry on Las Dos Hermanitas by Tárrega. You play an intro that I haven't been able to find anywhere.
Yes,
It's the Chopin Vals Brillante, Opus 34, number 1 in A flat major. What is the secret to that?
It's a version I found. I didn't find it. Somebody, I think maybe Michael, gave me that, and it's a bit like some of the pieces by Barrios and other composers, where they rewrote the piece again and again. You know, sometimes with an intro, sometimes without, or a different intro.
Yeah.
You know, and historically, I think there are still some things to be discovered about Tárrega and, of course, other composers. In his time, people were not so careful with what they did with the scores and with the compositions. For example, the famous Gran Jota, which I played last night, the intro is by José Viñas, a piece called Recuerdos de Palma. And so it's not completely by Viñas, but Tárrega used Viñas and then put some things in himself. Then not half, but a few of the variations and the theme itself is by Julián Arcas. And then most of the variations are by Tárrega. So what would you put? 3 names in the publication? I don't know. Or could you say, well, actually Tárrega only wrote from this variation onwards. The other ones are Julián Arcas. I don't think he was trying to steal the piece. It's just he used other people's music to incorporate them into his piece of music.
So does that mean that for the piece Ela Perguntar on Aire Latino by Dilermando Reis,
there's also an intro there that other people often don't have, but that comes from a recording by Dilermando, where he plays some chords before the melody starts.
Amazing.
Mi re fa, it's the beginning of the melody, but it starts bang on that, right? Mi re fa. The way he did it on an old recording, he plays a few of those chords, so I just took it off the recording.
That's
just
awesome.
copied it.
So that means that you spend a lot of time trying to get like historically accurate, as well as because getting the oldest score with like handwritten scores.
If you can, yes. To be honest, I'm not a musicologist. So
it sounds like you are.
Yeah, it sounds. Maybe I'm trying to make it sound like I'm a musicologist.
No, nothing.
I just feel that if you play a piece of music, the more time you investigate where it came from, or where was the composer when they wrote it, or what sort of influences were around in their lives at that time, I think you can get a little closer to the piece. But I don't want to say that my version is like the last word on what you should do with a piece of music, because I don't approach the music as a musicologist. I approach a piece of music because I love the melody, and then from there, if you're going to make a recording like a CD or something, the more you know about it, the better. It'll help. So, Barrios is a problem because there's still intros and different versions still being discovered. And every year somebody has a new version of the waltz numbers and so. Okay, right, why not? Because he made so many versions, and in his recordings there aren't two pieces the same, because of course he can do what he wants because he wrote it. When we play it, we should make our own choice. For example, when you play the famous Paraguayan dance by Barrios, there are many versions. So each of us should choose the version that we think is the best, if you like, just like Barrios did, It's Wednesday, Thursday, he plays a semitone, the other time he plays a tone, So what? It doesn't completely change the atmosphere of the piece or anything. It's just, he's allowed to improvise. We're supposed to do what he did. Okay. But in the end, the piece becomes yours, especially if you have more versions to look at.